Hey guys, this is Rainbow Kid the Kid here, and today we'll be going over the Stephen King multiverse. Now, it's a multiverse by itself in the vast array of the Omniverse because you know, it's just too crazy for the main universe. So yeah, let's go over it. Kurt Barlow. Kurt Barlow is a fictional vampire and the main antagonist of Stephen King's 1975 horror film novel, Salem's Lot. The character is a powerful vampire who moves to the main town of Jerusalem's Lot with one of the intent to form a vampire colony of its residents. As the main antagonist of Salem's Lot, the vampire Kurt Barlow fed on the town until being destroyed by Ben Mears. Vampires also appear at the time through the Dark Tower series as an antagonist of Gunslinger. Their pale complexion, yellow eyes, and sharp fangs continuously make King's vampires terrifying, along with their ability to feed on their prey's emotions. Other notable vampires, including Dandello, Sister Mary, and the Night Flyer. Now, Stephen King's multiverse, I love, and I love the Stephen King books in general, and the movies, because it's a pretty interesting universe with lots of different creatures and stuff like that. He also writes other novels and horror stories. The Wendigo. One of these demonic monsters that balances on the border of demon and ghost, the Wendigo is one of the most famous of King's demons, and had to join the conversation. The fact that the Wendigo exists through the possession of nature and often takes the form of animals, dead or alive, makes it a terrifying presence in the King's universe, or multiverse if you want to get technical about it. What makes it a uniquely scary monster is that it cannot be seen and is hard to stop, as the demonic presence that cursed the Pet Cemetery in Pet Cemetery. The Wendigo was behind the frightening events of that story, where animals and eventually children were coming back from the dead with cannibalistic intent. Now, the Wendigo by itself is a very powerful demon who will only show its true form at the presence of a more powerful entity. Pretty cool, right? Rose the Hat from Doctor Sleep. The most notable energy vampire are Rose the Hat and her cult, the True Knot. While they can be scary, they also look like people, making them hard to spot and easy on the eyes. They feed on children or adults who have a very specific gift, mainly the shine, which lets others see things that are not normally there, and hear them too. Now, Rose wants to devour this gift called the shine because she wants to use it to do something. I don't know. Mordred Dischain. Through magic and villainy, Susanna Dean is possessed by a demonic presence called Mia at the end of the fifth book in the Dark Tower series. Mia plans to have a child through Susanna with the seed of Roland Deschain. And in the sixth book, it actually happens. Young Mordred is far from what any parent will call perfect, as he quickly becomes the secondary antagonist for the final book in the series. As a half-human and half-demon creature, Mordred terrorizes his parents and the other gunslingers. What makes Mordred more terrifying is that he takes the form of a giant spider and lurks in the shadows on various occasions, just waiting to feed. That's terrifying. Terrifying. Mordred Deschain is terrifying. He's also a spider demon. Gage Creed. Gage William Creed is a fictional character created by Stephen King, who's the primary antagonist of his 1983 novel, Pet Cemetery. In the novel, Gage is an innocent child who is accidentally killed by a speeding tanker truck and was buried in the Pet Cemetery but comes back to life and is now a horrifying creature of evil. we can see this happen when Gage's father, Dr. Lewis Creed, buries the cat in the pet cemetery, and it comes back as a. The picture's blocking it, so I can't read it. As a horrifying creature, it says probably. So Gage Creed, horrifying demon child, who should go to the deepest depths of hell. Werecats. When newcomer Charles Brian Krause and his mother Mary Alice Cridge settle into town, the local residents do not suspect that they are shape-shifting alien werecats looking to feed on the town's virgin girls. Oh God, please stop. You're making me cringe. Charles quickly befriends innocent and chastity Tanya, Madgen Emek, when when he begins attending high school, hoping to take her life force in order to defeat his mother. When Tanya agrees to a first date with Charles, she may learn his true intentions the hard way. Now, werecats are a very interesting species of alien and a werewolf cat who can also suck the life force out of other people, like virgins. In the tale of a killer canine, man's best friend turns into his worst enemy when sweet Saint Bernard Cujo is bitten by a bat, who may not have rabies or a disease, I don't know. He starts behaving oddly and becomes very aggressive as Cujo morphs into a dangerous beast. He goes on a rampage in a small town. Stay-at-home mom Donna D. Wallace gets caught in Cujo's crosshairs on a fateful errand with her son Tad, Danny Pataro. Stuck in their tiny car, Dana and Tad have a frightening showdown with the crazed animal. Well, Tad dies technically because he died from car heat. That's pretty dark. Randall Flagg is one of the main antagonists of the entire Dark Tower series, as well as in the main antagonist of The Stand. Randall Flagg is the most consistent villain in Stephen King's storytelling universe, present in at least 9 of King's novels, and possibly hinted at in more. Flagg brings evil to multiple heroes and innocents and in multiple different stories. As a demonic wizard, Flagg terrorizes populations into turmoil and destruction in order to serve the Outer Dark. Or serve. Yeah, serve. Slow mutants. These are certainly more than a few Stephen King monsters that were more than a few of Stephen King's monsters that were frightening. They were fighting to make the list, basically. And many of are scary, but not that scary. Slow mutants from King's The Dark Tower series are considered King's versions of zombified people, exposed to the pollutants of the old ones. Slow mutants are bred and mutated creatures that are only barely human anymore. So, slow mutants can breed, and they're basically pollutants of the old ones. So yeah. El Cuco. Oh my god, this picture just makes me cringe and terrified at the same time. The main antagonist of the hit book and TV miniseries, The Outsiders, El Cuco is a shape-shifting monster and an emotion eater that most likely comes from the Todash space, like other evil creatures of the King Multiverse. Going by many names and committing many crimes, El Cuco is also believed to be the boogeyman in Stephen King's short story of the same name. Its true appearance is possibly more terrifying than the audience can imagine, but its half-formed appearance are just as terrifying. Pennywise, that dancing clown we all know and love today from the It movies. It shouldn't be much of a surprise which monster takes the number 1 spot on the list. While Pennywise the clown is much more than he appears, the form he takes to attract and eventually eat children is one that has lived in people's nightmares for decades. Another emotion eater that can use fear to project waking nightmares. Oh my god, that's terrifying. As seen in the Pennywise movies, It, the 19-something version, and It in the 2016 version, and It in the 2018 version. At least those are the correct years, I think. I don't know. I never look at the movie dates, I just watch them. Pennywise is one of the most devilish and frightening creatures of all time. The Crimson King. Not to be outdone by the Scarlet King, often described as the ruler of the Outer Dark, an embodiment of pure evil itself. The Crimson King is one of the most terrifying creatures in Stephen King's multiverse of stories. A demonic entity so powerful that he has control over all evil doings in the multiverse. The Crimson King is one of the scariest monsters characters in Stephen King's stories. The main antagonist of the Dark Tower series, Crimson King wants the opposite of a nulled dischain, trying to topple the Dark Tower in order to bring eternal chaos. Now, we'll be going over creepypastas because I don't want to say there are a lot, but there are a lot. Creepypastas go way back to 2005, the year I was born. And I knew about creepypastas back then because they used to give me nightmares. And I used to think they were real, but more importantly, that they're not real. And they're just stories made up by people. The images that they produce are mostly images created by people and are fake. So just to let you know, we'll be going over that in another video. Now, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe and leave a comment down below for more videos like this. And I will see you later. Peace.